All right, so we got Tod Howarth here, and how's everything going? You got Cold Beach just released, and it sounds
hmm
amazing. This single you got out.
Thank you. Things are going good. The I was going to start working on a new heavy rock CD later this year, and I was in the process of working on another kind of just an acoustic CD. At my leisure, there's really no time frame here, but what happened was I had a friend of mine, a fan friend, who wanted to videotape a new song, and I told him I didn't have any tunes. At the moment, I said, "What did you have in mind?" And he said, "Well, I'd like to videotape something that has to do with your off-road stuff that you enjoy so much." So with that, I wrote a song in a day, and had all the lyrics and melody solidified in 3 days, and set up to record it. And he had plans to come down in the future, and we did the video shoot pretty much in one day. A little rushed. There was supposed to be more on it, but that's as much as we could get inside the time frame that we had.
And we see a Frehley's Comet T-shirt in this video.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I originally I had a plan to have a faux band out there. I wanted to have the real drummer that played on their Bob Sale out in the desert sand dunes. I have me, of course, Bob Sale on drums, Jeff Marshall playing guitar, and then a bass player that would be a guest appearance, bass player hopefully. And we'd be playing in the back of my tall trailer that hauls all my off-road stuff. That was my original idea. That didn't quite work out, so I was going to have posters up in the background of all the big bands that I've played with, and kind of do a little focus on them and that kind of thing. And so, as it turned out, I couldn't have everybody out there because of conflicting schedules. So I thought, well, I know what, I'll just pull out some of the vintage T-shirts and carefully wash a couple of them and wear them for the video shoot.
Now, this guitars and amps you're using on this Cold Beach, what would you be using on in the recording?
In the recording, I used, believe this or not, my favorite Marshall blew up the night before I went to do basic tracks for this song. So I had to rent another 100-watt Marshall here in San Diego that was what I considered to be close to my tone. And I found one's pretty good. Didn't quite sound like mine, but it was the best I could do for the short notice we had to record. So for amplification, I'm using 100-watt Marshall through 30-watt Celestion speakers, an old cabinet, and then I used my white Steinberger guitar with the EMG pickup. And then for bass, even though in the video I'm playing one of Tom Peterson's Waterstone 12-string bass guitars that he gave me, this song wasn't right for that guitar, but it looked cool, so I used it instead. But for the bass, I used an old Gibson Victory bass that was also I purchased that from Tom Peterson, and it has some big fat strings on it. They're really nasty and kind of tough to play, but I kind of grilled my way through it. And I ran that through a Tech 21 Sans amp bass rig to get the desired tone that I wanted.
Recording today, would you say it's getting easier for you?
Well, for me, I have not updated to all the Pro Tools and all the computer stuff. Overall, yes. I mean, it's really easy with the computers and home stuff that you can do, and I'm debating whether to get all into that rather than keeping the energy outside and do it like I did Cold Beach. I went to an actual studio, recorded the bass and the drums. That was the bass track is the bass track that I recorded there at the Basic Tracks, and get that live kind of feel. Now I could do that in my home studio. I guess it depends on what happens here in the future, but to answer your question, as I digress, yeah, it's a lot easier to record really good quality CDs and music nowadays. When I was my earlier solo records CDs, the quality was not so good. First, because I wasn't as well-versed recording in a home studio, and plus they were small digital analog or digital tapes, and nothing in comparison to today's studio stuff.
Now, Todd, what do you think of amp simulations and stuff like that? You know, from Digitech and Boss, like they're coming out with newer stuff each year, and it's getting better and better for simulated amps.
Well, for the effectiveness of it, you really can't beat them. They sound amazing. Like for my bass rig, that's a direct in, and it's just a slamming sound as far as I'm concerned. I'm still kind of old school as far as my Marshall amp goes. I like to push the air through the microphone. I really do enjoy the sound that I get out of my Marshall, which has been fixed and sounds ungodly. I wish I would have had it for the taping. But I still like to push air through the speakers and capture that sound with the microphone. It just seems to have a warmth and fatness to it that it is pretty much my preference.
And speaking of your amp you just blew up, what are you going to do for that?
I had it fixed.
Okay.
I had it fixed. Matter of fact, the guy that did the job here in San Diego, he's a Marshall aficionado, and so he's real picky about how he puts them back together. And he put it back together, and I plugged it in, and like, holy shit, this sounds great. So I've got another Marshall that has been broken for quite some time. As a matter of fact, in 1984, I bought 2 of these 100 watts from Jim Marshall in London, and Jim Marshall picked them out for me, and consequently, I had to sell one of them way back when. I still have the other one that's broken. I'm gonna have that fixed by this guy as well. He does a tremendous job.
So these are like the classic JCM 800s.
This is it's a anniversary series 6100 LM. I think, but I guess that's somewhere along the same line as the 900 series. I'm not even sure.
So basically, the tone is all you in this. Like it's irreplaceable.
Yeah, it pretty much is. I can tell you that the tone that I captured for this, or that we captured for this, is not my best. Has not been my best tone. I think I've got some other rawer tones, like on the Cobalt Parlor, guitar-wise. Overall, the sound is nowhere near as good as this recording. I would have liked to have gotten my standard signature tone for this, but like I said, because I didn't have my amp, I just did not get it, and a little upset about that. But what do? You just move on to the next recording.
And Todd, let's say social media and stuff like that, compared to the 80s with Ace Frehley and Frehley's Comets, what do you think of this whole world now when you're releasing a song?
Of course, there's good parts and there's bad parts. I think it's a tremendous tool, of course. I mean, it has been quite some time for getting the word out there. It's just worlds apart from 25 or 26 years, or no, it's 25 years ago for Frehley's Comet this year. Had we those tools back then, we probably could have gone a lot further. At the same time, there's other bands that are up and coming and younger that would have been able to get in there and dilute the fan base, and of course everybody would be listening to all kinds of stuff, which is good. I don't have a problem with that, but it's so different from what it was 25 years ago. The bad part, of course, is that even if I sell one tune or one CD, then it's immediately pirated. I did this song for the fans. It's a precursor to perhaps hopefully another rock CD later this year, as I said earlier. But then again, I release that and do all this work, and then it gets pirated, and I'm not trying to get rich off my material, and trust me, I'm not going to get anything for the video and the song. But I just want to bring some music to the fans that enjoy my music, and new fans that are discovering me. But it's a double-edged sword as far as the internet goes.
And let's say for this summer, what are you going to be doing interesting?
Well, I would like to do 2 things, or actually 3 things, if I can get some of my other projects off the board here. Musically, I would like to continue to work on this acoustic CD, which is it's either acoustic guitar and me singing, or piano and me singing. Very stripped down production, just more heavy melodic type acoustical tunes. I'd also like to be continue writing for another heavy rock CD, of which Cold Beach will be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, I'd like to put another band together, but I can't really kid myself at this point because I'm not young, I'm not old, but I'm not young. So to get people of my caliber and close to my age to play is very difficult to do because everybody has a full plate themselves with their careers or even musical careers or non-musical careers, and it's kind of tough to make it all work. Getting back to recording another rock CD, Brian Sword, who helped tremendously in putting a lot of things together, including this video, had suggested I do a rock CD and have some guest players on it from my past bands. So I'm going to see if I can pull that together.
Well, all I can say is keep up the great work. It's great to see a new product with you on it. It's very good. I enjoy the sound quality. The mastering is very good on it also, I should say.
Thank you. We worked on it. It's better to have a couple set of ears. In the past, I've been doing everything by myself, and it's just really not doable. And it's not an egotistical thing that I did that way. It was just of scheduling. It was so much easier for me to just go ahead and do what I wanted to do right away, as opposed to waiting for somebody else to get to it, or maybe I couldn't afford to pay for it or do it that way because I have so many other financial obligations in the past from the Comet days. It was good to do this single with a second set of ears and co-producer Ronnie Jones, who is a guitar player, friend of mine from my old top 40 band here locally in San Diego from 35 years ago. And he was thrilled to death to do it. And we bumped into each other a couple years ago on another project, and I thought it'd be great to have Ronnie do some stuff, for my solo stuff. So we got one done. Tremendous, Jason. Thank you so much for calling and calling back, for that matter.
Hey, no problem.